what if there were principles that we could live by, principles of prosperity that would help us harmonize to what we want, help us manifest and create the outcomes, the experiences, and the things? Well, that's exactly what we're talking about today on the Manifesting Guide. But before we do that, if you're tired of pushing yourself and forcing to get things done and you're looking for an easier way, go get your How to Create a Wish List to Realize Your Dreams manifesting kit. It's an awesome exercise and it will help you communicate to your unconscious mind, and it's completely free. I'll put it in the show notes. You're listening to the Manifesting Guide with Ariana Rollins, and this is episode 58, Principles of Prosperity. So glad you're here. I'm reading a classic book. Okay, I'll admit for the third time. Sometimes it takes a bit of time to digest something of depth and great value that carries truth. It's called Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth. And I can tell you, this third time through, I can see the growth in my consciousness, that I'm understanding where these parts land. And it's just got so much more value for me. So the subtitle is The Principles and Process of True Prosperity. There's a passage I'd like to share here, because this is something that, in my experience, the book that started and inspired the work that I teach in Higher True Self Life Change Training is called How to Get Lots of Money for Anything Fast. Now, that was not the original book title. I think the original book title was Making the Impossible Possible. And you could see the marketers would say, that's not a clear benefit, right? What does that mean? And I understand. And money, usually when someone's suffering from lack of money, there are growth opportunities, lessons to be learned, and it's not easy. I have been there. I have definitely been there. But it gets your attention, doesn't it? When you don't have the money to buy something you need to buy or you really want to buy. So one of the ways that we evolve is something happens in our life to get our attention, whether it's a breakup, whether it's a sickness, whether it's a financial issue. Life will use those things that are significant and meaningful to us to get our attention. So with that book title, can you imagine what kind of problems people would have and they're seeking to have them solved by that book? I've met a lot of them, having taught this since 2005, and my heart has full compassion for them. But here's the thing, and I would tell them, I said, this is not a quick fix. This is something, if you are in a stressed, anxious place, it's going to be hard for you to learn. So it's like we have to prepare before we get into those crisis situations, so we have the capabilities and the strength of mind and resilience to handle them. If we go about life and we ignore the little warning signs, it could be a health issue, and we knew something was wrong, but we didn't get it checked out. We know that's going to be a lot harder to solve versus, I can only pay the minimum on my credit card, and normally I've paid them off in full. We have to pay attention to those early warning signs. Otherwise, then we're dealing with a way, way bigger issue. I remember when my son first started developing allergies when he was very little, 3-4 years old, that he would say, Mama, I get a scratchy throat when I eat that apple. I just thought he didn't want to eat the apple. Actually, no, that was his father. And he'd say, no, apples are good for you, so he'd eat it. But he would get a scratchy throat, and then the next time he ate it, he'd throw up. And the father would get mad at him. You're throwing up the apple because you don't want to eat it. Well, I don't think so. Not when you're a child. I don't think so. So then this is the way allergies work from my understanding. And I did a lot of research, because the time when he ate a macadamia nut in the kitchen, half of a macadamia nut, and all of a sudden his face started swelling. He couldn't breathe. He was we called 911. He was whisked to in the ambulance, in the emergency. They got him stable, and they gave him allergy medication and opened up his airways so he could breathe. Right? Well, how does this relate to the warning signs and little reminders that we could get from life? Well, it could be like an allergy. It gives us an early warning sign: scratchy throat. Oh, it's something that's not good for me right now. It doesn't matter why. We don't need to analyze that. Okay, pay attention. Oh, I just threw up. Oh, pay attention. And now it's a full-blown allergic reaction called anaphylactic shock. So are there areas of your life where you've been getting early warning signs, but you're going on business as usual? You don't have time to stop and pay attention. Or maybe you're afraid. You're afraid to know. And I've been there, burying it and not wanting to look at it because I really didn't know a way to solve it. And it would just be stirring the pot. And why do I want to get more anxious? I have to just get on with it and just keep, powering through whatever I mentally think is going to make me successful or help me solve this problem. So I put more energy, more mustard to it. Okay, so now I'm going to read this. Spiritual Economics, a fabulous passage. It is often in this consciousness of spiritual immaturity that a person may turn to the wheel of fortune as a way to strike it rich. A person may have an urgent financial need and think, I will make my demonstration by picking the winning number in the lottery. Traditional religion has often muddled the issue by preaching on the sin of gambling. There's nothing immoral about games of chance if one has the means and wants to be entertained by picking horses or playing roulette. Then let that person enjoy himself or herself in clear conscience. However, it may become a source of spiritual limitation if the gambler is not spending available funds in entertainment, but is desperately trying to make his or her fortune. It is a self-delusive trap, for in an orderly universe, there is simply no way in which one can get something for nothing. I'm going to repeat that one because this is my training that I've understood. You get it after you've worked for it. In an orderly universe, there is simply no way in which one can get something for nothing. Under divine law, you receive as you have given, no more and no less. If you feel you have been down on your luck, don't succumb to the temptation to try to make it big in some game of chance. Your fortune begins with you, not with the roll of the dice or with the winning number or with any kind of lucky break. There is only one way in which you can change your luck, and that is by altering your thoughts. Amazing, right? I read that and said I had to share that. So back to the title of How to Get Lots of Money for Anything Fast. Here's the thing. People have made significant money selling a house at the prime time or getting under a debt or obligation. And these principles, these processes work. But if there is an inadvertent amount of desperation has to happen, people get attached to the outcome. And that level of attachment will prevent it from coming in because it has to come through this narrow channel. Otherwise, we don't see it, we don't recognize it. So letting go of the attachment is a big part of this work. Is we see it, we articulate it, we effectively communicate it to our unconscious mind, we have our true self endorsing it, it's at the right time to work on something, and then we let it go. We don't jump on the scale every day checking our weight. Has it dropped? Has it dropped? Am I now at my perfect ideal weight? Or we don't keep checking our bank account, has the money come in yet? Has the money come in yet? Or the lottery tickets, buying them every day. Evolving our consciousness is the only way to change our luck. And luck is something that you cause. It's not something that happens by chance. At least in the work that I do and what I've been practicing, luck is caused. It's not chance.